T1's turn to ban. Team Secret's turn to ban.
Caught a lot of people's eyes because Rezo kind of showed how ready he is to play in this team, and he just sat in very nice. I think Kezu also agrees on that.
Yeah, like just to finish off that thought real quick and chime in. Secret, I feel like both Zayas and Resolution have performed really well, and from what I've seen in this tournament so far, your offlane duo is very important, because I feel like if they have pressured themselves already in the lane, it makes it easier for your mid laner to rotate there, and at the same time, maybe you don't have plays there. If they're doing well, which they usually are, because Rezo has been popping off in half his games, that's what allows Zayas to like roam around the map on some of his great heroes like this Nyx Assassin that we've highlighted and the Earthshaker.
Well, there's a game one draft is underway, and absolutely no surprises that we're going to see Marcy, Primal Beast, Enigma, Shadowed Fiend there as our first bans. But here with those bans, what are we letting through? What's going to be picked up as these opening picks?
Well, already missed an opening. Undying, but we're talking about T1 here. You know what hero did not get banned? Venom. Yep, you got it. So, got to keep an eye out for that one. There's a chance they can pick it, and it's pretty good. They have a flexibility on T1 right now. This Undying, they're willing to play it on Cuckoo on the boss 3 role. That's a very comfort hero, but they'll also play it on 5. So.
Perhaps the draft pans out in a way where you need a different 5 for the morphling, or you just put the morph mid. I would say that they're very comfortable in both. I think what was important for Secret here in this opening pick is to make sure that you pick 2 heroes against the Undying opening that feel good against Undying, but also against this closing pick of T1 in this phase, which very likely could be their morphling yet again. It's something they've done in like their last 3 matches, the last 3 out of 4 matches.
Yeah, it's so good here. I think the Morphling makes total sense. Like, it lanes incredibly well versus Lash. Thompson can play it mid against the Lash. They can put it safe lane against the Lash. That's generally where the Lash is going to go, right? It's going to go mid or potentially off lane with the Nyx. And you just can't pressure a Morph. You've got low base damage. Your damage is over time, so the tribute shift is always there. You can't burst them. It's just a really good pick. And I think that's super scary for Team Secret already, just seeing the opening from T1.
Yeah, it's also kind of an issue as well when you see Leshrac against Morphling, because Lesh usually hates burst damage a lot, so Morphling does set in nicely. And also Secret hasn't picked Lesh in first phase at all. That's been their last phase last pick, or second last pick into the draft as well. So it does give a pretty strong start for T1.
Yeah, I guess the other interesting thing that he did bring up is with this morph is that they can either play it on Ana or they can play it on Thompson. So again, a little bit of versatility there with that draft. But if you're Secret, how do you sort of ban now, Kezu? Are you banning more for yourself to protect, or are you banning for things that you don't want T1 to get their hands on?
So I think, because it's one of their more open cores to play in multiple roles and then still get some counter picks going. And in terms for their bans, I think you just want to make sure that the ledge is indeed open, that you don't leave like 1 or 2 heroes in that, okay, if they pick this, I don't want to go mid. If they pick this, I don't want to go safe lane.
Okay. What could some of those heroes look like, Fear, that T1 might then want to try and pick up for themselves?
T1, I'm more worried about Secret, about what they want to pick up against, to be totally honest with you. Because, like, I mentioned before, just a second, like, this Enigma's the only hero that comes to my mind that can pressure Morphling and Dying Lane. So I'm really worried on, like, what Secret is going to pick to combat that. And they have some bans here. They banned the AA on T1 to protect. They banned the Drow. Might be a Slark play later. We saw the Lina. As far as like the mid matchup goes, like they have a 100% win rate on Morph right now in T1. Thompson's played it once, and Ana's played it twice. So they have the versatility to go like in both lanes here. So my eye is mainly just on like what is Secret gonna do? Because right now I feel like T1's in like the driver's seat of like the meta right.
The pick they want to bring up, maybe a Shaker with the morph, maybe a Clockwork if they want to get some more initiation and vision power for this morphling. I mean, I agree with you. I think Secret's in a pretty iffy situation. Like I like the Chen edition here, but it feels like it still needs something to add in.
Jesse, what do you feel like the T1 are going to be opening with here in this second phase, considering Secret trying to not give away too much and just picking up the Chen?
I feel like what would be cool here for T1 is that you pick an offlaner that gives you a bit more team fight, lanes well against Chen, and potentially builds a pipe in this game. I could see something like a Centaur or Tide combination come out just to solidify your team fight a bit more with the Morph or Undying. But this could also depend. So do they feel comfortable putting Undying in the offlane against the Chen? I feel like it's maybe not the best matchup because you don't deal so well with the, the summons. And with them picking Tusk here, they might just pick, so the Undying should already be a core.
Yep, they're gonna flex this morph, right? It's gonna be either mid or carry.
Yeah.
Undying will be offlane for Cuckoo, and they've got their 4 and 5. But Oracle, that is a hero that
10 seconds
I generally have very little faith in this patch, but against the Leshrac,
5 seconds
they don't have a lot of, like, my problem with Oracle is, like, if you get on top of the Oracle, right? Some Night Stalker or something like that, the hero can feel, like, impossible to play. But they don't have that right now for Secret, so they need to find a way to get on top of the Oracle, right?
I feel like Secret have a lot of good picks here. Summons are very good in this game. They have very little things they deal with. Like, for instance, a Lycan, which pairs really well with Chen. It's super good against the tier 1 heroes. There's also something they did yesterday against Morphling. Howl is super annoying for Morphling because his damage is like really high because he plays on mainly low HP with the full Agi. And I think that is one of the routes they could go. Night Stalker, as Fear was mentioning, is also very good. Night Stalker breaks these lineups that rely on their backline heroes to, save the heroes in the front. So I could see them go for something like this.
I mean, while we're waiting for the Secret pick to come out, just very quickly, this is actually the first time we're seeing Oracle in Last Chance qualifiers. It's been banned in the past, but has not been picked up. So, T1 coming out with something a little bit different there, and then Secret getting that Lycan team member.
Yeah, like as you said, the zoo is strong. We've got a lot of creeps with Chen, and now the Lycan. I think they might have shifted up the priority of heroes that they want, because if you would have saved this Lycan for last phase, that could have been a very good ban for T1 to get rid of. They've picked this Lycan twice in the second phase, and they've won both games, just like the Tusk on T1 also won both games when they've been picked in the second phase. But like the utility for Secret is getting better with this powerhouse of what Lycan kind of is in a game like this. Just looking for maybe a pair up with this hero, but now that are they going to put a 3? Is Reza going to be going on with the Lycan? Because they haven't picked their carry. They haven't picked.
Very small chance, I think, but it could happen. I think right now, if you're T1, you're definitely thinking about putting this morph mid and seeing that's like a niche Leshrac. And maybe find something that can punish the Lycan, because Oracle does not punish a Lycan at all, and I think if you don't have that hero, I think the last time we saw this, Lycan was saying versus Undying, then Dying bullied it out, so the morph got free farm. A lot harder to get that space when your boss fight is an Oracle, so they could pick something for Ana here. That is a lot stronger in lane against like the Lycan, which could be like a Sven or something. And you can see Secret's kind of sniffing that out too. They banned the Bristleback, which would have been a great option too.
Assuming that Secret are going to be picking up their carry as their last pick, are there any holes or flaws that you feel, Kazu, are in their draft that they really need to kind of cover, or are they pretty open with what their last pick has to do?
I think what's important for them is that they have a lot of. They do have very good team fight with the auras and the Lesh running in and letting him tank up, but I would like to see them just have a hero that really complements the fact that your team is running in for you and that they're buying auras for you. So I would like to see them pick a hero that just scales very nicely, with damage, because he's going to have a Vlad's aura from his Lycan and AC from his Lycan, and the heals coming out from the Chen. It's a little hard to say yet what it's going to be, because they're going to be picking their pick in response to what T1 will go for. But that's I would just like for them to seek more the complementary pick for their draft.
Yeah, you're laning versus Undying too, which isn't an easy pass, but Is Ursa in the pool? That's a hero that could work well with the Morph and Undying.
Yeah.
But as I've seen a lot of Undying lanes, they seem to just win their lane you play against. So I don't know if you can play for like trying to win your lane.
Remaining.
I don't know if Crystallis would like to go for something like Viper or the Monkey King span. So yeah, the Viper and the Void are the ones that I'm kind of thinking. They don't really have synergy with the Faceless Void necessarily, but it does give them some extra tools to fight with. But I think it has to be somewhat of a response pick as well to this last one that T1 wants.
Yeah, they'll see a little bit, but I think for the most part, Crystallis already sees his lane. So, I mean, there's a tide. Is this going to be a carry tide from Ana? I think it might. And they might put the Leshrac in the mid lane here against the Leshrac. I put the Morph against the Leshrac, sorry. And then this doesn't change a ton, I think, for Crystallis, because unless they want to do some lane swaps. Like, you mentioned the Void, but I've never seen Void do well versus Undying. Okay? Never. That lane's just too hard. So, very interesting pick here. Looks like Ana's going to do something creative and play a non-meta carry.
I could see something in this draft where you put the Lash safe lane and you pick. I just feel like you want whatever ranged hero, whatever. Like you could go for a Lina mid if that's something that they want to do. If Crystallis is comfortable on the safe lane Lash, yeah, Ursa is also an incredible pick, as Fear mentioned.
Alright, well, we got this game on draft nice and sorted now, and you know, obviously T1 they couldn't be as straightforward as maybe everyone thought. But Kezu, seeing it, how are you feeling? Which side is actually gonna be Thompson? Yeah, or okay, yeah. See, there you go. T1 doing something not a lot of people are expecting. Not even us here on the panel. But seeing where they're all going, Kezu, how do you think it's gonna shape up? How the laning phase is gonna be into the later part of the game, especially in the mid-Oracle?
Well, I'm not an expert on Oracle mid against Lash. I think that might be a farm trade lane, but I think both side lanes are in Secret's favor. I feel like T1. I feel like they started their draft off pretty strong, but I think they missed out on perhaps 1 or 2 bans, and their adjustments aren't really what I would have liked to see. So, especially seeing with Oracle, personally, I would prefer to play a Secret draft in this game.
Okay, and Phil, what about yourself? How do you think this one's going to be panning out?
Alright, this one's going to be wild. I think they have something in store here. Cuckoo picked up the Tide for himself, knowing there's an Ursa in the game. We mentioned how the Tide is good versus the Lycan. I think there's going to be some lane swapping in this game. I think this Tide is probably going to want to go against the Lycan. Secret's going to swap back. I think we're going to have some musical chair lanes here, and it's going to be quite an interesting early game.
And what about yourself, very quickly, Team Panda? Which team are you kind of siding a little bit with?
Oh, man. Seeing both these drafts, I mean, of course, there's a lot of interesting things. It's hard to say. If I have to pick, I guess I go with Kezu, and like I really like to play the Secret draft rather. But T1 playing some very good meta heroes right now. I don't know. Maybe Secret takes this.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's jump into our very first series of the day. It's upper bracket best of 3 between T1 and Secret with your casters. Secret's draft. Highlight die.
Thank you, Natty. Thank you, lads. Yes, here we are, Pi game number 1 of the upper bracket semifinals. Victor here gets 2 chances to qualify directly to TI. If it's already. Mid lane Oracle. Have you ever seen anything like this, Pi?
Actually, I have seen it. Anyone who's caught the Thompson stream, especially a couple of months ago, you've seen him play this hero quite a bit with like various results. I don't know if this ended up being one of his favorites, but he did have decent success with it. And a lot of it is just people don't expect this early burst damage when Oracle gets these many levels.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be key, right? What your combo early on with what 204 on Purifying Flames especially is it's a mad amount of damage. It's over 500 and quite spammable at that.
Yeah, and what I remember, usually he tries to go for a really early Axe, which is not a very common item either, right? Like if you have a position 5 Oracle, you never get to get that Aghanim Scepter. And
Reign of Destiny.
Yes, and no one really knows what it does, right? And so yeah, if you stand in it, you take a lot of damage. If your teammates stand in it, you heal them more. So like that's basically what you need to know. It's quite exciting.
I agree. How well this will fight into an Oracle, how well this Oracle will fight into that is an Ursa, a Lycan, of course Puppey as well with summons. There's a lot of heroes that tend to want to run and get, directly in his face. Zayas as well here. on the Nyx assassin. So I think spacing going to be of the utmost importance. But with the supports here for T1 being, of course, this Tusk and Undying, I think, and of course having Cuckoo here, not to mention, like they've got a really solid front line to protect them.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I would worry about is all these summons, right? Like you said, like just clearing them out in lane, in team fights. So hopefully Cuckoo has a decent game at least, because they're gonna need this anchor smash.
Okay.
And they're putting Lycan mid here. It's quite smart.
What are you looking to avoid here between that mid lane matchup if Nisha were to go mid?
I mean, even if Nisha goes mid, right, it's a fine matchup. It's just maybe a little Oracle favored or completely even. I believe this should be a very Lycan favored lane.
And it's just because the Wolves do much more work here against Oracle is the thinking?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you start getting up, when Lycan starts hitting level 3-5. I don't see Oracle getting a CS without using a nuke, you know?
See, we'll have the mana to sustain it. Already tanking creeps a ton here as Thompson early, but he did already deal with the Wolves. It's a couple more for him, but a nice little disengage with the Fortune's End. Eager to see how well Thompson can play this. I think Nat said it was the first overall Oracle pick in the entire tournament. Liquid's playing right now. I thought maybe they would have, given it a go. Insania really, really likes this hero, and he really makes it shine. But instead, it's Thompson on mid lane here. So yeah, really excited to see how he gets things done. So far, pretty good. 9-0 versus 7-1. But Nisha is having to skip some creep waves up top lane as a result of, well, just Whitemon existing. This Undying, man, so strong.
Yeah. This is one of those lanes though where Nyx and Leshrac, you will see them struggle early, but then suddenly you get to that point where Nisha gets a few levels in Edict, and the Undying just starts dying. He can't play this tanky role anymore. So yeah, they just have to try to get some levels. But Syke is doing a really good job here, pulling waves. So there's no problem for them at all.
Second straight that they've managed to pull now. The Undying attempting to, not sure, maybe try and scout elsewhere. Like you say, they just need the levels. Undying, of course, Whitemon, he brought all this consumable regen to lane. He's going to be a little bit disappointed he's not really getting the fighting lane that he wants. Hive Mangoes and a Clarity. I mean, he's actually got no permanent item in his inventory. Everything's going to disappear here eventually.
Yeah. What you have to say, though, is like Nyx is contesting Morthing, right? And Undying is contesting Leshrac. And you can see how that pans out on the CS there, where okay, it's evened out a little bit, but Morphling does have quite a bit more CS than Leshrac.
As even with 4 base armor and a decent HP regen, he's just really no match. I think like Fear was saying during the panel segment, Nyx just can't threaten. The nukes are not high enough on Impale. His attack damage is minimal, less than 50.
Yeah.
The other lane we haven't really touched up. Hold that thought actually is top lane. They're making a play onto Whitemon, and it's even a kill there for Nisha, as I had setting that one up. But really nice Impale.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You're Undying, you think you're invincible, but then these heroes with a lot of nukes, right, they get a few levels, and you die.
I wanted to take a quick look down bottom, where we haven't really talked about this one too much, but this was, I believe, a 24th pick Tidehunter into already a basically established Ursa lane. Cuckoo doing phenomenal, though, in these early waves. 17-3 compared to 16-0. Is this going to start to look a bit more difficult as Puppy gets perhaps a second point in Holy Persuasion?
Yeah, and it's also just Ursa levels in general, especially when you have a Tusk as your 4. But the early game, yeah, he's doing a good job. I'm pretty sure they did pick the Ursa into the Tide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pardon me then. Pardon me. Then yeah, I guess right now the name of the game for Secret is just get levels, right? Because all their lanes, it sounds like we've settled on, have started to get a bit stronger with more experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm still so excited to see this Oracle, like what he'll accomplish. Like, apparently he has no problems last hitting here, right? I thought he would struggle a bit more versus these Wolves, but what is it, 27 last hits? That's basically every last hit with my math. So that's really good.
Probably a couple of extra Wolves as well. Wrong summons. I mean, yeah, he gets through these Wolves fairly easily, doesn't he? 400 HP on them. They do have really good magic resist, but Oracle has just got overwhelming magic damage, it would seem, at this stage of the game for them.
Yeah, it appears that way.
Doing just fine as well, CSing under tower with Thompson.
Yeah.
On bottom, Tempest or Puppy. Threatening onto Cuckoo. Needs to make sure that Fury swipe stack never gets too high, otherwise that's the only way he really takes a death in this lane.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I'm wondering if because what I expected was like every lane for T1 was gonna get really hard eventually. Like when you get a lot of high level wolves on Lycan, like the Oracle doesn't want to be mid. When he gets like, you know, upgraded boots on Ursa, a few more levels, then like playing for the Tidehunter gets really hard.
Thompson's ganking, sorry, level 6 here. Whitemon was tanking a lot of spells. They also get a kill down bottom out of the Tusk, but dive underneath the tower goes Ana, and receiving the kill is Thompson. Nice little combo there with the Fortress and Purifying Flames. Down goes Nisha.
You can try to dodge him, but it come for you. Watch out for Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that sense, the Oracle, especially with pretty good cast ranges, considering the laning stage, makes a very good surprising ganker. However, down bottom, they're making a play on the Cuckoo, the TP away. Cuckoo! Ooh, they needed one more stack there on the Fury, so MC will make it safely back home.
That's 0.3 seconds away from disaster. When you die without TP, that's a walk of shame, as they say.
A very slow walk for the Watermelon. Oh, he's got phase boots though, actually. Coming along very nicely for his itemizations. Mid lane, some lasting damage done to this tier 1 tower with the first wagon. Rezo already with the Helm of the Dominator. Part of me and a Centaur Conqueror showing in the mid lane.
Yeah, so Rezo's farm is really good, of course, as expected. But I mean, Thompson has kept up just as well, right? And me personally, I expected Secret to do a little better in every lane, but yeah, let's see here. Now it's time for Lycan to show his worth.
Yeah, and Cuckoo's already made the rotation over to the mid lane. There's going to be an Impale onto Zephyr, Snowball forced out onto the Wolves, but a nice bit of micro there from Rezo is going to secure him the kill.
Yeah. I mean, you have this... Okay, maybe it's fine. Level 4. He's going to hit level 5 here with Tidehunter. Can probably hold
mid. Go top again. Thompson at least making the rotation over, but is going to continue making his run. Might run into some trouble himself, though, with Zayat and Rezo. Heading into the dire side, though, and Thompson going to deviate south of the jungle.
He wants this stack.
Oh yeah, actually. Thompson is stealing a stack in the meantime.
Dude, dodging certain death. Lycan and Nyx coming from you behind, you know? You just walk even deeper and steal their stacks.
It's a big stack. It's a triple stack.
Oh, who's drawing there? Okay, so Nisha is drawing. I think he knows. Thompson is back there. So.
This Thompson guy always going 404 on every single mid laner.
Look. Oh, this is dirty. Oh my god.
They're all gone.
Yeah.
Thompson now, all of a sudden, he leaps to the head of the board for last hits and denies. His net worth as well, reflecting nicely, 3,600, as they're going to make the play onto Zayat. Gets up a nice Impale, though, and the Spike's Carapace, but surrounded by T1 heroes, he will fall.
Yeah, then that's where you see the Oracle, right? Like, Purifying Flames here maxed out at 7 minutes. It's a lot of damage. And he's also going for the Axe, so that'll be cool.
You know, he actually went for Fortune's End first, as it helps him farm a bit faster with that AoE damage. He's just running into the middle of camps and Fortune's Ending himself to root everyone. It's working out really nicely. I mean, you saw how it looked pretty convincing, didn't it? How quickly he took that stack.
Yeah. No, the cooldown. Like, I never get the cooldown this low, you know?
Yeah, me neither.
So it does feel really good when you have it.
Seconds, and yeah, I don't believe it's just 280 damage straight up, isn't it? You don't need to max channel it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty speedy here. Whitemon, maybe in some trouble. This is, of course, a Thompson mid lane Oracle, so he doesn't have the point in False Promise.
Look at the damage on Nisha,
but his own tankiness, as Nisha is going to die. Thompson persists. In comes Rezo, though. I think he got it. Cancel ready to Impale. Oh, the speedy little Centaur Conqueror there with the stomp in time is going to be able to punish Thompson.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice.
Hard to blame him there. I think against almost any other mid laner, you know, Tombstone is going to actually slow them down and allow them to escape, but not against the Shapeshift.
No, for sure. I mean, Secret are quietly taking a bit of a gold lead, but it's nothing major, right? It's just a few hundred gold.
So, he'll be okay.
Alright,
Dire's
nice.
top tower is under attack.
The problem now, I guess, is they don't really have anyone to stand versus Lycan. I mean, the Morphling is going to try to TP up here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he can chase him away. It's just if they go together with Lycan, like a few heroes, 2 or 3 heroes together here, I don't know if they can fight into that. They do have Ravage and Tombstone though, so like, yeah, lineup is not too bad.
I wonder, you know, to deal with all of this magic damage early, taking a look towards the puppy Chen, who we haven't really spoken about too much. If he's going to end up trying to find one of these small creeps, so the Centaur Coursers, right? What is it? The 10% magic resist aura for free, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure. And yeah, speaking of puppy, he's had a really nice lane. Like usually when you see one on lane, right, you only look at the core players. But if you compare the supports here, Puppy's actually ahead of the position 4 with 800 gold. And I think he has mech coming.
There's full mech, 10 minutes.
Yeah, very strong.
Mech buffed as well in 732. Recipe cost decreased, but I think most importantly, especially early, this cooldown going down by 15 seconds. T1 dropping a tombstone here. There is no point in Ravage. Now, if they can get a kill, Tide will probably get up to level 7 here, and he can't commit for the point. But right now, T1 just trying to run at enemies and not a lot of lockdown at their disposal.
Yeah. No, I guess they can try to like snowball in, right? But it's not the easiest. They don't have the easiest initiation right there.
A nice play by Nisha, even though he's not the mid laner. Of course, he knows one of his objectives here is definitely that mid tier 1 tower. He's gone for the sampler build here on the Lesh 2-2-2-1, and coming along very nicely for his farming experience as he's catching back up after having to split experience with Zayat in the lane.
Yeah. But, I mean, Secret are chugging along. Everyone's getting decent farm here. I guess only Nisha has a little catch up to do, but he's still level 8, 11 minutes. It's not bad at all. And he's a Leshrac, so if there's farm, he can farm it.
Find it. And I think that sentry might have just caught Zayat on his way out of its range. For now, I think Secret, they're going to be fighting as mainly 4, but only for a couple more minutes, as Crystallis actually almost completed his Diffusal Blade down bottom. Might see him get a bit active early. Of course, the Ursa already having a bit of a favorable matchup against the Morphling naturally because of the Fury swipes. You don't really want to shift one way or the other against that kind of thing. But now mana burn as well.
Okay, setting up a kill on Rezo here, but he's very fast.
The root as well was a minimum cast, but a very nice ice shards out from Zephyr, forces Rezo the other way around. Thompson as well is going to go ahead and false promise himself to not die to the summons, but a nice stun from Zayat, I believe, onto 2 or 3 maybe.
It's a lot of damage on
Thompson here. Oh, he's still going to drop. Rezo picks up the kill in exchange for Zayat.
Dyer's middle tower
That's Lycan versus Oracle for you. Even when you have 5k net worth. It's die to minions.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Be a bit painful for him, especially as Secret. Again, Crystallis, not really deviating from this bottom lane at all. In fact, he's going to see this tower go down while he picks up his own Diffusal.
Yeah, no, Secret are playing the map really well. Like, they're gaining a lot of farm. Even though, like, the kills are basically even, right? They're already at 3k gold. And they're 2 towers up? Yeah.
Towers, yeah.
Tower is under attack.
Maybe they'll try to go mid here with no Lycan ulti. But it's not that easy. Puppy's still strong, like he has to make.
Yeah, Puppy is really strong. He did use Hand of God in that previous exchange. Doesn't have that one at least, and he's got to be in the vicinity for that mech to kick in.
Look at these tornadoes!
Cuckoo. He has Ravage. There's going to be the jump onto him now. Look at that, the Enrage. He's going to allow Crystallis to shrug this one off with the snowball. Onto 2, they make the jump, and Ana, and getting involved early, is there for the kill. Nisha doing a lot of AoE damage, surrounded by 4, taking them down 1 by 1, but Puppy cannot keep him alive despite his best efforts with the mechanism. As T1 now sent scattering. Wow, the helm of the Overlord already finished.
Yeah.
Black Drake here.
I think they might have had a bit of a communication issue there, where I think Resolution just finished it, and he really wanted to get an Asian creep, so he showed up a bit late, and so maybe Secret could have waited before they committed in there.
But just look at this damage that the Lesh Nisha gets to do in this fight. 3,100. This is why having some heals, even for some time, there was a Wisp Lesh strat running for a couple weeks. The longer you can keep this guy alive, the more damage he's going to output. It's almost that simple.
Yeah, so it's really strong. I think you saw the Ursa there go in and go down, so to speak. I think he overcommitted with the, the Earth Jump?
Earth Shock.
Yeah, Earth Shock, yeah.
Front flip.
Yeah, the front flip squiddly diddle. He probably should have kept that to get out. But
Chris, I think he wanted to stop a Ravage from coming through maybe, but Cooper just a little bit too tanky in the early game. Has a Sanj.
It's a Roche thing.
That's a Roche without the Ravage to fight. Chris Secret feel like T1 can't reasonably contest, and they're right about that. T1 they make no moves. Instead, they're going to head down bottom, where Ana picks up the first tower of the game in favor of T1.
Yeah, that's something. Like, if you don't at least pick up the tower, you start feeling kind of bad. But now you're like, all right, waiting Ravage, we got a tower. It's all good.
Yeah. And I think Secret have done extremely well with these, like reading the map. Nisha especially has been a highlight for me. You know, both teams doing it as well, right? Secret are doing Roche, T1 do the best of their space, they look to go bottom. Secret sees them take bottom as they expect, Nisha goes top, takes a tier 1 tower for free. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm just really curious how these team fights from now on are gonna pan out, because both teams, they believe that they can be the ball that you can't run into. You have T1, right? They have Ravage, they have Tombstone, and they're gonna have this Axe and Oracle, which deals a lot of damage and heals. But at the same time, Secret have Chen, right? And they have Leshrac, so like it's gonna be this, what is it, unstoppable force and needs to whatever.
Yeah, it feels like a Secret. They see themselves as the unstoppable force. T1 maybe, especially with Reigns of Destiny now on the way for Topson. Cuckoo, of course, threatening with a Ravage, a Tombstone placed down. They might be the immovable object in their own eyes.
Yeah, because that's what I expect them to believe from their own lineup. So I'm curious to see when they clash here eventually.
Dude, we might get that treat here sooner than we think. Chrysalis showing in the mid lane where the rest of the team is kind of baiting him, smoked around him. Zayat's planting down an Observer Ward. That's going to see Whitemon immediately. Gets the Tombstone up. They're going to get the D Ward, and happy with that. Zayat's, just fast enough there to evade the Ice Shards. It's Tombstone down. Secret can just wait this one out. Maybe even push mid in the meantime.
Yeah, just go from the left here. So now you lost your Tombstone. You're definitely weaker. You might even have to give up the tower. So let's see.
That'd be a second tier 1 tower already in the first, 2 minutes of this Aegis?
Yeah, I mean, and the issue here is like Topson is on an Oracle, right? He's not this Ember Spirit free farming while Secret are committing 5 heroes. He's just sitting with his team, not getting any resources.
He's nuking a range creep from Fog.
Yeah.
That's about it. And as you can see, the double Tempest, you know, the rarity. And I grew up in the Midwest, Pi, where we had the tornadoes coming. Oh, Lord, if I saw 2 of them.
Double trouble.
Double trouble from Puppey, absolutely. And down goes the tier 2 tower. I mean, Secret, more or less, it feels like they've been uncontested in a lot of their map movements. They weren't let into the triangle by the Tombstone placed down. But other than that, they'll go ahead and just move as to where they please and take that tier 2.
Yeah, so far very smooth, easy game for them. Like there's no rush for them. Like, as you said, running into this triangle, that might be maybe a bit too difficult, even though they're quite a bit ahead right now. So they probably should just keep farming like this. They're just constantly gaining gold. Getting more and more ahead.
So you yourself admitted you're a bit of a Topson stream enjoyer. When did this Oracle look at its peak, you know? When did it look strong to you and it kind of made you go, what is he doing, from that to, okay, this is maybe legit?
I mean, honestly, I'll be honest, I don't ever think it was that strong.
Okay.
Let's hear it, they might jump in mid.
Okay, and they will. And with Zayat's nearby, they've got the kill.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of Topson stream lore. I believe he spammed Oracle at the same time as he was spamming Zeus. And in this period, I think he was losing a lot of MMR, so... I mean, it's not like he lost every game.
No, of course not.
Alright, T1 getting chased down here?
Yeah, that's going to be another easy kill for them. Team Secret showing off their voice lines as well in the supporter pack. Yeah, I mean, it sounded like, as well from that, I remember from that period of time, everyone was talking about the 404 Zeus, the 404 Zeus, this and that, it's so good, and then even Nisha started really impressing some people with it over at the Riyadh Masters. That's about the time I recall this happening. I don't remember a lot of people saying much about the 404.
Kill back here.
Kill. Yeah, nice, something. Our date for T1.
Okay, so Crystallis is teeping here.
Shut as well, giving chase, has got a full Bloodstone. Probably one of 2 heroes in the entire game right now that feels comfortable buying this item this early, especially.
Oh, which one? What's the other one?
Maybe a Storm.
I don't think so. I think this is the hero. And the funny part, right, is that it's completely bonkers on Leshrac. Like, it's so broken. I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen it more. Because in pubs, I have to play this hero a lot.
Thinks better about going up to that high ground where Secret, of course, are lying in wait. They've got an Observer as well. That would have been a bit of a scary jump to make, especially because Rezo sitting on the last couple seconds of this DD rune. And speaking of last couple of seconds, Crystallis' Aegis is going to be reclaimed. Decent progress here made. Good accomplishments under first Aegis, would you say, for Secret?
Yeah, I mean, they're completely fine with how this game is going. I'll just speak for T1. Like, it's just a bit unfortunate when you pick this kind of tempo type hero mid, like an Oracle, that you want to get your Ags and then go. And then you do finish your Ags, and now it's been 5 minutes with your Aghanim, and you haven't even used the spell once.
Yeah,
so that's not very comfortable for you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's unfortunate for the Oracle. It's not an Ags that's going to help him farm or anything like that, right? It's a team fighting Ags. That's where we'll see it shine. And well, the only kind of time he's been engaged on, he's gotten 100-0 during the lockdown from Chrysalis and Zayats.
Yeah. Actually, I do think you can farm with it.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen him use it yet.
No, I mean, there hasn't been anything to farm, right? Like, Secret have held him up very, like an iron grip.
Here they go now. On the ice shards, though, and every little thing. Zephyr's in real deep. Here's Alex.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh, going more. Uh-oh. Wow, that could have been so much worse for T1, and it could have also been so much better. Unfortunately, Thompson got caught by Nick stun, so he couldn't. Like, Anna was going in full glory blazing because he was expecting Thompson to save him, but Thompson got caught by some stray stun, and yeah, Anna just dies. Fortunately, they almost all of them managed to TP out, so it's not too bad.
Not too bad. They get a tier 1 tower for their troubles, and still a kill onto Puppey and a kill onto Rezo. Means they don't leave the fight completely empty-handed. But I think any fight that Secret can walk away from and then immediately move onto the enemy side of the map is a fight that honestly they're not too displeased with. A fight that means they don't take, you know, a bunch of tower damage, maybe lose a major objective. They're probably okay with that, as we'll take another look at the fight.
Yeah, no, because what I wanted to say here, when the fight begins, right? You think, like, this initiation is kind of botched, like, it's not looking good. But then the immovable object, right? Like, the Secret tried to run in here, but what happens? They have to run away. Look, you can't fight this tombstone.
No.
Look, Nisha trying to man up, but they have to run. But this is when the unfortunate thing happened. Look here, look at Thompson. I believe he gets stunned in the back here. Yeah. And then... oh, yeah, he doesn't manage to save his buddy Anna. And that's what Anna expected to save there, so... very well played by Sayak to get that.
They gotta bail out of that fight pretty quickly. Secret, in the meantime, they find a free pickoff onto the Tusk. Nothing, excuse me, too major. Tusk now does have Blink Dagger. He did manage to amass the golds for that. So Snowball save, False Promise, now both an option. We'll keep our eyes out for that one, as Secret might not be expecting the Tusk Blink at this exact moment.
Yeah, oh, very good pickup. I think, do they have all their spells? Ravage and 6? Yeah, they should fight again. Like, there's no need to wait there. And I'm not sure about Secret posturing here. Let's see.
T1 holding a ward.
Yeah, T1 should definitely try to fight there. Like, they should go, go, go. Don't let them get out.
They're gonna smoke up. And Chrysalis is gonna make it out of the jungle with a Ancient Granite Golem in tow. That one's Rezo's, of course. Zayats as well with his own Blink Dagger. We're out for some more fantastic initiations. He found, I believe, a couple of 2-man impales, 3 even in that last instance, in that last engagement.
Yeah, Roche is up for it, yeah.
Number 2, that's always a big one. That's always one that Ursa has his eyes on.
Oh, they cannot let them have this. Like, this has to be a fight. Yeah, second smoke. Smoke into smoke. Let's go.
There you go now. They're going to be holding the Ramp of Death. Roche already down to half HP. It's even just a small win. Right now they can force Chrysalis out of the pit, but they can't. Oh, they're not fast enough, Pi.
I think they should fight anyway. But Seekers are smart. They're not, like, rushing in.
Nope. They're really just showing and sacking the Ancient Black Dragon.
They're yanking a Black Dragon. Unfortunate.
250 gold. That's a loss that Secret can afford to take right now.
Yeah. No, I really wanted them to go a little more crazy there. Like, should have tried harder to find that fight.
Chrysalis, maybe a bit of a hunting duo, but definitely respecting the position in here from T1, especially, of course, with the, I think that's an observer, yes, indeed, out from Secret on the cliff. White Mom was going to commit a tombstone there to D-Ward for a second.
Yeah, I mean, because the awkward part now for T1, right, is just they have one hero farming, and yeah, they're just sitting 5 together, so the gold is just going to keep going up and up and up for Secret.
And this Ursa is going to continue to scale very nicely, right, with a free egg shard, heading into Basher Abyssal next. You know, he's got plenty of items he can still look to go for.
Might have a fight coming here, Anna.
Oh, he's just in. Look at that, right on a white mud, but they can't burst him. He does get the tombstone down to the high ground. Crystallis, disarmed by a second, is going to BKB up. Nisha is going to actually find the stun on the Thompson, and he forces the Reigns of Destiny and the False Promise both onto him. Crystallis will find his man eventually here. So down goes White Man. They're not fighting underneath tombstone anymore as well.
They're not together.
Is being focused onto Crystallis. They get through Ana as Rezo and Zayat, I think, are going to collect him. Thompson on his high ground. Zephyr doing what he can with a brief walrus punch, but I think he's not safe here. Yeah, Impale's going to catch him. Crystallis, the last of his mana here for the overpower, and an full team wipe in favor of Team Secret.
Yeah, very nice for Secret there. It's unfortunate, like if you see, right, they didn't even get to use Ravage. Like Anna kind of waveformed away by himself, and then they were split up. With White Man already dead early too. And after that, it's just very difficult to fight.
Yeah. I really like Crystallis' jump there. You know, when an Ursa's right on top of Undying, obviously not a matchup Undying particularly likes, despite how tanky it can be. It's a quick decision. Do I put down Tombstone or do I die and save it for the next fight? He decided to quickly put it down, and unfortunately T1, they just weren't really set up around it.
Yeah.
Cuckoo though? Oh, okay. The trees. As Secret clean up the entire mid lane of Barracks. That's the kind of building damage that they can do, especially with the Lesh.
Yeah, so now we're in a definitely despair part of this game here for T1. They do still have like Tombstone, they have Ravage. So like what they need is the Ursa to jump in, right? And they need to hit the Halberd right away, I believe. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, they accomplished that this time, but again, they just end up fighting away from Tombstone, and
yeah,
above our camera here is where Anna ends up as well.
Now you can see it's just they're getting big.
Oh, they're in.
Oh my god, again.
Thompson's gonna buy back. Nisha as well doing some damage on the Cuckoo, forcing him out, but at least the more from Anna allows him to find a stun, find a kill onto Zayat. Crystallis on the run with Aegis still for 2 minutes, as Anna is gonna end up getting caught here by the split Earth stun. Reigns of Destiny here to heal him up as Cuckoo falling low, receives the False Promise, is able to at least get the Ravage off, but Crystallis fighting on through this. That might be enough damage to kill him. Hand of God now from Secret as their heals are coming in. Once again, Thompson, he's going to be jumped and killed. That's a dieback for him. Anna BKB, but he's just running for his life. Cuckoo is alive. You may have to call it. This game, it's over, Pi.
Yeah. No, at the end there's just there's too much network to fight through. Like you can see their lineup, they're staying alive more than you expect, but 20 gold behind Aegis, it's just too much.
Yep, and